You guys get into the clinch, the over-under. I'm pushing that wrist down. I've got some pressure against him. Once I'm here, I'm gonna jump off the track, drag, hold him down, seatbelt, right there. Then you guys can break him down, get your hooks, go for that finish, okay? Last time I'll do it. Get into the over-under. Guys trying to hold me, we're trying to look for body locks and stuff. Shake, get to that wrist control. I'm pushing into my opponent. Maybe I'm trying to push him into the fence. He's pushing into me, I use that energy against him. Drag him down, hold him, bring my hooks in. Go for that finish, right there, okay?
Oh, great. I shouldn't have asked. Now he started it.
Hi, Megan. Are you ready to film?
I'll film from here in my boots. Ew, you're gonna get that on camera?
Of all time. You ready? Come on.
Jeez.
What's up? Are we on? Teach me grappling. I know we're on. I turned it on.
I know.
Okay.
Fake
Is
question.
this thing on? Okay. Guys, I've got Vince Pichel here today, UFC veteran.
Wait, what was that?
Can you do a little curtsy? Okay. All right, guys. Today, what we went over today was another arm drag. I've already have an arm drag video with a drill, the arm drag drill,
oh.
And it's awesome. But
It went black.
that's okay. You just touch it.
Yeah, just
That's
sleeps.
it?
The screen
All right.
sleeps.
It's just sleeping.
Wow, she's Asian.
So, arm drag drill, guys. Come on, let's keep our focus. Arm drag drill, but not a drill. We're doing now an actual arm drag, but I want to talk about this arm drag because there's not a lot of people that probably give these details that you're going to get right now for this arm drag.
Oh, I'd give anything for a drag. Just one drag.
It's a real easy arm drag to learn, and it's really effective if you can get this position. So I'm gonna end up in the over-under, okay? See that? I've got here and here. I'm gonna look to get to his wrist, okay? So I reach back, I get to his wrist. Now, sometimes to get this wrist, it can be difficult. Like maybe he's strong, you know, you're like, how do I get the wrist? You know, if I can't get the wrist, got a couple ways I can do this. I can take the heel of my palm and push on his elbow to kind of weaken his arm. Sometimes he's too strong for that. Either way, I can use a combination of that and also what I call the shake. I'm gonna shake and I'm gonna hit him with my right shoulder. So over here, my right shoulder, I'm gonna punch him in the chest. And then I'm gonna shake back this direction and punch him with my left shoulder. And punch him with my right shoulder. Punch him with my left shoulder. Punch him with my right shoulder, back and forth. And so what that does is it'll help you loosen. So even if he's kind of strong and you can't get to this wrist, watch what I do. I shake back and forth, kind of like when you see a dog grab onto you know, like a towel or a bone or something, they thrash side to side. See that? So that's what I do to get down and get that wrist, okay, right there. It's real hard for a guy to hold on. So I'm leaning, I'm putting weight, I'm lowering my level a little bit, so he's carrying my weight with his right arm underhook. And I shake until I can get to that wrist, okay? Once you guys get to the wrist, straighten the wrist and come, you know, bring it down. And then now my right hand that's an underhook, that's the hand that wants to pass between and go for the arm drag. Now, what you do here is critical. If you guys go for the arm drag like this, there is an arm drag like this, where you step and you step in with your right leg and you can attack his leg, or you can do a double leg, you can do trips and things like that. That's awesome, there's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm gonna do is I'm pushing and I'm gonna jump off the train track. So right now, if he just stays there, go ahead. He's running this way, you know what I mean, on his train track. So I'm giving him energy, we're pushing into each other. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get out of the way, okay? So I'm gonna jump out of the way like this, As I jump out of the way, I get out of the line so that he can be dragged this direction. Then what I'm doing is at the same time, my right arm's gonna change and it's gonna go high on the triceps here. My left hand's gonna release. And as I do this, there's a massive pull from my hip, okay? So I'm gonna rotate my hip like this as I pivot my left foot. And I'm gonna pull with my arm and drag him by, okay? As I do that, I still have my left hand around his waist, okay? And I don't let go of the arm drag and try to lock. You could do it, it's not wrong, but I'm not going to do it. That's not what I want you to do. If you guys just lock right here, he may turn into me and get his underhook. See that? And that often will happen when you go for this type of technique and you try to lock. If you do go for a bear hug or a body lock, you gotta make sure that the arm is sandwiched against his body. And in this position, I'm gonna keep the arm drag. So again, I go for the wrist. If it's available, I push it down. If it's not available, I hit him with a shake and I'm pushing here. I'm driving in towards him. Next, I jump off the track and I'm straightening that wrist down. I'm gonna arm drag, rotate my hip, and I'm coming here. I keep the grips. So if he tries to turn, I'm hanging on him. Next thing I do is I lift my feet off the floor and I drag him in this direction. Pulling him down, hopping up my chest to back connection, seatbelt, and then we're ready to go. Once we're here, we can take the back, we can go for crucifix. We're in a good position, okay? So again, you guys get into the clinch, the over-under, I'm pushing that wrist down. I've got some pressure against him. Once I'm here, I'm gonna jump off the track, drag, pull him down, seatbelt, right there. Then you guys can break him down, get your hooks, go for that finish, okay? Last time I'll do it. Get into the over-under. Guys trying to hold me, we're trying to look for body locks and stuff. Shake, get to that wrist control. I'm pushing into my opponent. Maybe I'm trying to push him into the fence. He's pushing into me, I use that energy against him. Drag him down, pull him, bring my hooks in. Go for that finish. Right there, okay? Vince, what do you think, man?
It's a very good technique, super simple. One of my go-tos that I catch on the best and the worst guys, so.
Why don't you do it? Why don't you do it? Let's get you doing it. You're the greatest of all time, like Ali. So he's here. Maybe I've got a good underhook. Not gonna let him get my wrist.
I actually kind of like that concept of, look.
Yeah, he's gonna work it down.
Get this. I've never done that. But
Push that down. I can't use my wrist now, but I'm pushing in there. Whoa! Pulled me right to the mat, which sometimes will happen. Right there, I'm in a bad spot. Yeah. Let's do another one. That was nice. Again, guys, if the guy really is pushing in, he may fall right down.
yeah, I love when guys will push into me on this. Sometimes I'll even try to bait them and think that I'm gonna try to do this
Yeah.
to get them to try to push a little more into me. Get them here.
So much pressure and weight.
Always
Nice.
looking for the finish.
Sweet. Real easy move, guys. The arm drag is real popular. Again, last thing I want to say, you know what, this is real important. So now we showed it to you kind of quick, showed it slow, showed it quick, and I've got to address this. This is actually, I'm glad I didn't forget this. Guys, look, when you do an arm drag, I always say there's two ways you can go to somebody's back. You can enter with your head, or you can enter with your hips or your butt. You can lead with your butt or lead with your head. Okay, if I arm drag like this, and I lead with my head, see? So I'm leading with my head as I go behind. Mechanically, it doesn't make sense when it comes to the pull. So, right here, I'm trying to pull. I can't pull, get a little closer here. I can't pull as my head goes this way. I don't have power. I get the pull from turning my head and rotating my hip. That's what allows me to pull this, by turning my head and rotating my hip. If you guys go with your head first, you're actually making it easier for him to turn and face me like that. So if he wanted to step that leg back, he could do that. And look, he's actually closer to my back. Okay, if you notice an arm drag, it's kind of interesting, right? Like I could have one and he could have one too. It's like we're doing that whole dance right here. Okay? So, that was good. So we're here. So guys, when I drag, I don't go head first. Don't go head first. He'll just turn with you. And then, you know, you're not going to get it. You're going to break out. That always happens when people do arm drags.
It's like playing a switch game.
Yeah.
Where you both have a 50-50 position.
Yeah. Even from here, guys, like sometimes they'll do arm drag and they'll go like this, and the guy will just turn, and then they both kind of like pull out. So when I'm doing this drag, guys, I'm trying to cut that corner. I want to make that circle smaller. If you don't understand what I mean, instead of running around in a circle, as he runs that circle, look what I'm actually doing. I'm turning my hip. I'm making that circle a sharp turn, a sharp corner. So now look, who's closer to who's back now? For him to go to my back, he has to travel all the way around to get to my back. So when I cut this corner, this angle, I'm now closer to his back. And look where my head is. My head is in the front. I lead with my butt and I go, what has been told to me 1,000 times for arm drags, hip to hip. Hip to hip. Okay? So once you're here, don't have your hips out. Okay? Don't bend over. So once you're here, as he's trying to turn a little bit, I'm going hip to hip. I'm bringing my hip to his. And then now, even if I do get behind him to lock, my hip led as I went behind him, not my head. Okay, now our head does lead on some techniques. For example, the arm drag to the double leg. Your head will go first. But on this arm drag, we are leading with our hip to hip. I'm touching right here. Okay, we're doing this. You want to do it one time?
Oh my.
Another thing I like about this too is like it's applicable for Jiu-jitsu, grappling, and MMA. So same thing MMA, when you help crossing jump, sometimes you might not even get him down, he's too strong. You can still grab a hold of the hip, keep here, and start punching. He still has to face me to start punching, so he's still in a vulnerable position. And I love this position, whether it's up here standing, or let's say I do get him down, and I'm right here. Still, same thing. You see a lot of guys do this, a lot of the wrestlers do this, hip to hip, and they're still just punching as they're controlling the guy and just punching him. His only option is that get the fuck out of dodge before you get to beat the hell out of him. So very effective move, very simple.
All right, cool. I think we knocked that thing out of the park. Thank you so much. Please click that link down below at Patreon and PayPal. Like and subscribe. Vince, where can they find you?
From Help a Shell everywhere, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
All right, cool. We'll see you guys later. State championships are tomorrow for California. High school state title on the line right now. I've got 6 wrestlers, 3 boys, 3 girls in the competition. I'm excited. Okay, see you guys later.
PG grapplers!
Out.